All right, I wanted to share with you a conversation that I recently had with a New York senior, someone who worked her whole life in New York City, and now she's in at the end of her life, and she's on Social Security, she's on Medicare, and she's on Medicaid, and she's talking about the challenges of all of that. And I think it's a really good thing to sort of understand the importance of all these programs. And so I'm going to turn you over to the interview. So tell me a little bit about what your situation is with when it comes to Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and tell me what's going on there.
Well, I get about $1,400 a month from Social Security.
Okay.
And I do the elections, I do little gig jobs here and there, but it's not a lot.
Right.
So now that's why I have Medicaid as well. I used to work in restaurants, but you get to a certain age and that kind of dries up, you know?
Right. Right.
And so, but I actively look for work all the time. But I am eligible for Medicaid.
Okay. Good. Good. So you worked in the restaurant business pretty much your whole life. Did you pay into
Yes.
Social Security your entire life?
Did I what?
You paid into Social Security for your entire life?
Yeah, yeah, not as much as I should have.
Right.
When I look at it. Well, in the beginning, you really didn't have to declare as much tips as you
Right.
do now. And I do not know why Trump wants to do that again, because it's going to screw all their Social Security, you know?
Right. Right. And when you turned 62, I'm guessing you had a choice whether or not to go on Social Security right away or try to delay, but for financial reasons, you wanted to get on as soon as possible. Is that kind of what happened, or?
Well, I guess I'm trying to think of how many years I've had it now. Maybe I waited until I was 65 because I
Okay.
did have that additional money during the pandemic. And you're always told, you know, don't take early Social Security.
Right, right. So you did wait a little while, and so it did go up a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you went on at 65, maybe it went up by 10 or 15%. Now, when you turned 65, you went on Medicare as well?
Yes.
Okay. And well, let's start with Social Security first. What was the process like? Did you call into the Social Security office? Did you have someone help you? How did you get Social Security?
I called and I made a telephone appointment,
Right?
and then the woman called me back and we did everything over the phone.
Okay. So it was pretty easy for you. It wasn't a
She was
difficult.
lovely.
Okay, good, good. And then when you turned 60, when you were about to turn 65, you were trying to figure out your Medicare situation.
Well, I did the Medicare at the same time that I did the Social Security.
Okay, good, good. And did you get a lot of mail about Medicare? Did you get like
No.
okay,
Well, actually, now, because I have Health First, so
right,
I have one of their Advantage plans, OTC, which is a lifesaver, by the way. I got a $175 Con Ed bill this week. And
right,
that would have completely screwed me before. But you can use the OTC to pay your bills. But so it's Health First, and you know, I really don't go to doctors. I had an eye exam this week,
right,
because I think that a lot of doctors want to get you on certain medications like a statin or, you know, like I had a friend who was on five different medications and he has pre-diabetes, right? And
right.
he went off all of them and he said, I'm not dizzy anymore. I'm not tired all the time. My aunts and uncle they've been vegetarians for 60 years. They're in their 80s and they're like both over 85. They don't take any medications. Nothing. Nothing. My uncle has bad knees, but besides that, they're not a slave to the medications, if you know
Right.
what I mean.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think a lot of people become that. Like my mother, before she died, she was in a nursing home. She was on 10 different things.
Yeah, I know. That's people are very highly medicated these days. It's kind of an interesting thing to see if the quality of life is better or not.
Yeah,
Uh,
like you get up 4 times during the night to go to the bathroom. They want to give you a drug.
right,
Like why not drink less water that time? Why not try apple cider vinegar,
right,
right?
right.
Now, I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent.
No, no, it's fine. It's fine. I do want to explain to folks because I'm not sure everyone will understand. So when you're on Medicare and you're on Medicaid, there is something called a dual special needs program, which it sounds like that's what you're on. And that dual special needs program allows you to be on like that Health First Medicare Advantage, which then will give you an OTC card. Some of them, Health First has got a good one. So you're right, you get a certain amount every month. And the rules changed around those cards in the last few years. They were a little bit more restrictive. It was mostly for like over the counter stuff. But in the last few years, they've opened it up. You can actually pay if your landlord will allow you, you can pay rent,
Rent, yes.
utilities. You can pay a cell phone bill, I believe now from them. You can get enhanced groceries from certain grocery stores. So, tell us a little bit about your OTC and how you generally use that.
Well, like I said, I had $175, and so I used it on that. And
Yeah.
last month's, because I pay for my own heat,
Mhm.
last month's was 165.
Right. Yeah.
So you times that by three and you've almost got the whole.
Right. Right. And
But
what?
it
Yeah.
yeah,
And so, how much do you get from OTC? How much a month do you get from them?
525 quarterly.
Yeah. Well, that's a decent amount, right? So that helps you get through the winter. And then probably in the hot summer months to use it for air conditioning or
Yes, yes.
yeah, yeah, of course.
And occasionally I go to a supermarket, but it's like I eat a pretty healthy diet anyway.
Right.
So you can get, boneless breast of chicken or escarole.
Mhm.
But some people are using it in a very, very wasteful way.
Like
Because
what?
are you in New York?
Yes, yes,
Okay, so you're familiar with the farmers market in Union Square.
yes.
With the OTC dollars, you can get anything but alcohol.
Right,
So, like the farmers market in Union Square sometimes reminds me of how poor I am,
right,
right? So, I mean, you think of what the prices are there naturally, it's a cleaner kind of food. But, I almost bought some chicken thighs, but a package was $20. And
right,
wouldn't that be a waste of my OTC money?
right, right. Well, you still have to go out and be careful with your money. Like, I mean, I'm assuming you could get that same packet at some other place for much cheaper, right? Than
Yeah, Trader Joe's, you could get
that.
it for half the price.
Right.
I don't think that Trader Joe's takes OTC though. But I have to say it has because last year I went to a food bank a few times
Right.
because my money just wasn't and the food bank is in the village and they have like wild Alaskan salmon and like beautiful beautiful clean food.
Hmm.
But before that happened I did have to go to the food bank, which I didn't like.
Right. Right. Of course. Now, when from a Medicaid perspective, do you, yeah, other than helping you pay, it essentially takes care of, just so we're clear on that, Medicare would have covered you 80/20. You went on an Advantage plan, and because you had Medicaid, you were able to get on sort of a special needs program. So, are you doing anything else with Medicaid? Do you have any
Well,
people help you at all, or?
no, I don't need any help yet, thank God.
Okay. All right.
Right?
Yep. Yep.
But Medicaid helped me because it got me new glasses.
Yeah, that's great.
And I had sat on my glasses, so
Right, right,
it improves the quality of your life.
right. And if you didn't have Medicaid and you only had Medicare, they would not pay for your glasses. You'd have to do that Dental and vision are not included in regular Medicare. But when you get Medicaid, you get those extra benefits. Do you get any dental benefits?
Oh, they're useless, you know.
Yeah. It's
They're
just like,
useless.
yeah, just preventative stuff, right?
Yes,
Okay. All right, good. And uh so you are aware that Medicaid will do more for you as you get older. If you do need someone to come in, and just not from a nursing perspective, but just to help you, like, they can help clean, they will provide services to help you clean your home, to if you ever needed help like getting around and those types of things. So you are aware that eventually, if you need that would be there for you.
yes,
Okay, good, good. And you're aware as well that, obviously, if you would ever become ill and needed some skilled nursing, or needed to go to a nursing home or assisted living or something of that sort, um, you know, Medicaid would pick up the bill for that.
of course.
Right, right, right. Have you planned out at all sort of
No,
the
no.
remainder of your life and tried to figure out things?
It frightens me to think about those things.
Right, yeah. No, I get it. I get it. Um, and anything that was hard to do between Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid,
It was really easy.
it was really easy. Now
It
talk
was,
about, yeah. Yeah.
except Health First is a pain in the ass, you know that?
Why?
And
What's that
well,
like?
well, like they wanted to evaluate you, but they evaluated me like I was an 80 something year old person. I live in a fourth floor walk up. I walk a
Right,
few miles every day, you know? I
right,
mean, I'm strong. I'm strong. And you know, they they send so many useless pieces of paper in the mail,
right. Yeah, no,
you
I
know.
get that. Yeah,
And then like they kind of nag you. Like I filled out their evaluation, but
yeah,
then they want to call and talk about it every day,
right.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. They do like a health survey,
Yes.
and then they want to check in on you to see how you're doing against that
Like
health.
it seems like all the time.
Right, yeah, for sure. I think they want you to do it. How often do they want you to do it? Like quarterly, or is it just yearly?
I think yearly.
Yearly. Okay, good, good. And then when you went to Medicaid, did Social Security do that for you as well, or did you have to
That
go
was done at the same time as, oh no, I was on Medicaid because everybody was put on Medicaid during the pandemic.
Oh,
So the
okay,
day that all the restaurants closed in New York,
right.
I got on the phone with my provider at Health First. Then
Mhm.
I was paying like 400 something dollars a month for the privilege of medical insurance, which did not do very much for you, you know?
Right,
So,
because that was when you were on a marketplace plan before you
yes,
were
yes.
on Medicare. Okay, yeah.
And it made me angry that I paid so much and I got so little back in return.
Right,
But so then I was put on Medicaid automatically. I mean, I went to my provider and I told him because I had been using the same guy for years, and he was lovely, by the way, too. He
right,
was really lovely. And so then I was on Medicaid like everybody else was for all that time.
right.
And then I think I was still on it when I applied for the Social Security.
Okay. And so when because you had a Medicaid number, they knew you were already there, and so it was easy for them to sort of
Yes,
get
yes.
everything processed. And does Medicaid put uh any pressure on you to sort of like prove that you still deserve it? Um,
Well, they sent me a letter, but you know what they can do? They can go and punch my social security number into a computer and find out how much money I made last year.
right, right, exactly.
So I had been on the phone and they said, "Oh, you know, you don't have to sign up again until March." But then I got a letter saying you're covered as of March.
Okay, good, good. And they don't ask you to like prove that you don't have any assets or anything
No,
like.
I don't.
Right. Okay. So, because they do, they sometimes will check bank accounts and different things to see how you're doing. Okay, good. And then in terms of everything's going all right with regard to, do you own a home? Do you
No,
rent?
I rent.
You rent? Everything's okay. Are you able to sort of make it all work? Is the budget a problem? Is it
I have Scree now, so my rent is frozen at 583.89.
okay? That's great. That's great.
Sure
What's that
is.
program called?
Scree, Scree.
Okay,
That's for if you're over 55 and you make less than 50,000 a year.
right,
But I lived on Canal Street for 30 years and my landlord wanted to tear the building down. I was the only legal tenant left.
right,
So he relocated me at a preferential rent, and that's why I pay 583.89.
right. Excellent, excellent. Oh,
And
wow.
and they're good with it being frozen.
Okay, good, good.